Oh, there it is.
There it
There
is.
it
Gotcha.
is.
Good job.
All right. Now, where the heck? Oh, Lord, help me.
There it is.
There it is.
All right.
Good job.
We're back. Brilliant. Oh,
Lord,
I'm getting feedback.
Do you have two devices open on your computer? Do you have Zoom on two devices?
Right. I have Zoom on
Oh,
my.
no, you've got that. No,
I
the
just have
YouTube
Zoom
Live is
on
playing in
my,
your browser. So go to your
computer,
browser and
laptop.
just click that off. Zoom on two devices.
Right. I have Zoom on.
So go to Safari and
Right.
just hit stop.
Right.
It won't
Correct.
kill it. Click that off. And we have somebody named just iPad.
Okay. I'm hearing you and I've lost you.
No, you can hear us.
Yeah, I know, but I lost the darn Zoom. Let us just go. What?
What'd you lose, Thomas?
Oh, when I closed that window, I lost the Zoom feed, even though you're hearing me. Oh, duh, look up at top, duh. Okay, open. Come on, why is it not opening? Come on. Ah! Why am I not? Circus horses. Oh, duh. Flipping horse. I'm awake now.
Wonderful.
All right, now, I guess we're to, any questions? Anyone have any questions or so forth? Seeing as how we have Ken here and it's so wonderful.
Hey, I have a question. This is Barbara Moore.
Yes,
On the new
Barbara.
on the new iOS system, I now can't figure out how to forward a text message to my email because the way I used to do it doesn't work anymore. So can anybody tell me how with the new iOS I'm supposed to do that?
Copy and paste.
Okay. You can't just do a share thing, huh?
Not that I'm aware of. I never used to use it, but I'll take a quick look here.
Because I used to just be able to share it. You know, I'd tap my finger on the message and I would get a couple of different options, and one of them was just share it, but that doesn't work anymore. They changed it.
Yeah, and I think part of that is because it didn't work on all texts.
I see. All right, so copy and paste.
Yeah, but that's looking weird too now. Hang on here.
Yeah, the
Bob,
other
do you need to? Oh, go on.
The other thing that happens is you used to be able to hold the text message and you would get a whole list of, other kinds of things, including you could delete them. And sometimes that happens and other times it doesn't. So it's erratic.
Yeah, is it happening only on blue texts?
I am not sure, Ken. That's a good question.
Yeah, because it wouldn't happen on green text, but you might be able to on blue text. But yeah, there's no longer you can do copy of a message, but not a share. There's more, but not hardly anything comes up.
Okay.
I think some of that has to do with the ability to unsend a message.
Oh.
Ken, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Since the latest iteration of the Mac OS there, as far as iCloud's concerned, when I in the past, if I wanted to share something with the public, I could generate a link that's public facing, and then post it wherever I needed it. Typically I'd go to MacNexus, their Facebook page, and post some of our PDFs there for our chat links. And I can collaborate with people, and I can send to individuals. But there's no way. There used to be, I could just copy a link and then paste it into Facebook. I'm not sure if that's a Facebook deal or if that's a Mac OS deal.
Well, when you go to something in your iCloud Drive,
Right. And I create a shared
And-
document.
yeah, do you control click on it? Is that what you do?
Well, I just pull down the menu, and if I want to send it to an individual, I can, or they have to collaborate.
But that's what I'm asking is when you highlight it, do you secondary click or control click on it and then go to share that way?
No, I don't usually do that. I just,
Why don't you go into your Finder and go to something in your iCloud Drive that's just one file,
okay.
and let me know when you're there.
Okay. I'm looking at a document of a generic chat, and it's been shared by me in the past.
Well, don't do one you've shared before.
Okay.
Anything in there, anything in your iCloud Drive.
Okay.
So control click on it, and then you should get share. Well, I'm not brave enough to run Ventura, so I just want to check if it works for you. So control click, and you should get a contextual menu or 2-finger click or right click.
Yeah. I
I should say share, and then share file should be an option.
Well, I get the same one that I always get, and the options are to collaborate or send a copy. If I send a copy,
No,
it's
when I click share file, it says mail, message, copy link, or AirDrop.
well, I get all those options there, but I'm interested in just creating a link to that I can post
Right.
somewhere, not for the
So,
public.
so if you get the copy link, that should put it on your clipboard.
Well, it doesn't. I'll say there's an option there that says invite with link. When I do that, it creates a form that I can create a link and stuff. But
Okay, there's also another option that I have in Monterey that says who can access, and you want to say anyone with link.
right, and I usually
All
typically
of
that's what
that happens and it doesn't work.
it doesn't work. When I hit the copy link function, it gives me a little window with a 2, and then presumably I have to add the individuals that I want to send it to, and then there's a copy link button. That's all fine and dandy, but what if I want to just make it available to someone that's maybe a member of the club, but I don't have their email address or anything like that?
Well, I'm not running Ventura, so I can't really help you there.
Okay,
It says on the
I'll
old
run it
version,
by Pete.
on the old version, it says who can access, and then there's a setting that says anyone with the link.
Yeah.
So you don't have to
Those
invite-
options are still there.
Okay, well, that's what you would select, anyone
Yeah.
with a link.
Right.
And then on permission, you can give them, I would give them view
Right.
only.
Yeah, and I have done that, but whenever I tried to paste the link that's generated, well, it used to show it right there when it generated the link for like a public website. It shows it right there. So it was pretty straightforward to grab it and put it wherever I wanted it.
So the way to test it would be to see if it's a Facebook issue is pick a browser that you're not signed into your Apple ID. And like I use Brave as an alternate browser, just paste that into Brave or another browser and see if you can see the link. And then what you might look at is there may be some weird suffix on the end that's preventing it to look like a link inside of Facebook. So
yeah, oddity. I'm not sure if it's
I'm
some
not going to
interaction.
install Ventura to risk checking it out for you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're
Yeah, I made
braver,
the
man.
plunge and stuff, and it's been solid. Most things and stuff.
except-
Yeah,
Yeah.
and growing pains with anything new. There's always want to wait for the first or second iteration for it to come out. But something I'll have to live with. There's apparently there's a way that I can just post a direct PDF of it on our Facebook website, so I can do that. But in the past, I just put a link to it, and
Yeah, which
but
is
you can,
easy.
yeah, yes,
Well,
okay.
I'm sure they'll fix it or something.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I'll continue to query other sources.
Randy has a
Okay.
question too.
All right.
Yes, thanks, Ken. Hope you're having a great trip. It's a
So far,
it's a
so good. It was a
good
long
question on.
day and a half to get here.
Oh, wow. Question on iPhone. It's a 14 Pro Max, and it has to do when I play a movie like a YouTube. So I have a YouTube in the back, but sometimes when I move it and I cover like the back, sometimes it's like a haptics or something. Of course, it won't do it now, but sometimes either squeeze it or turn it or something.
Tap the back.
Well, I have tap back off. I
Okay.
know that one, but sometimes it's the side, or if I hinder the lenses right here, back here,
Oh, wow.
sometimes it just I don't know what
And
it
it's
is.
only in YouTube.
Yeah, that's usually where I just watch quick videos. This is, but
Will it help to unlock the orientation?
no, it'll go that way. It'll go, landscape.
I'm just
But-
wondering if maybe you want to lock that orientation while you're viewing the video, if that would make any difference for you.
That could be. I'll try that. Sorry to take time, but
No,
I
it's all
can't
good.
replicate
and I would-
the issue.
I would recommend doing a hard reset on your phone also.
Okay, will do.
Volume up, volume down, then press and hold the power button.
Will do. Thank you.
Barbara Moore, you have a question?
Yeah, I have another one. That is, do any of you know whether or not you can print the ECGs that you take and that show up on your phone? You can review them, but can you also print them out? And can you print them, if you can you print select ones, or do you have to print all of them? Or can you even not print at all?
ECGs. Oh,
Yeah,
the
electrocardiogram.
From your watch?
Yeah, on the watch, yeah.
You can do a screenshot of it.
Yeah, I was
Does it-
thinking of printing out a bunch of them to take to my cardiologist so we could
Yeah.
see kind of a trend, and I just wondered if you could do
Yeah,
that.
does the health app give you some
Yeah,
option to
think it-
look at it?
I think it does. I'm looking
The
it up
health,
now.
the health app will let you create a PDF. You can create a PDF that's printable
How do you do that?
from your watch. Let me go do it right now online. I'm going to my health app
Yeah,
and I'm going to, I haven't done this a lot, so bear with me. I'm going to the EKGs.
yeah.
I'm selecting one, and one of the options in blue is export PDF.
Oh, you're
And then
right. So
from
if you
there-
just hold it,
Yeah. And then you have a choice of where it goes to. You can mail it to yourself. You can airdrop it.
Is it doing
you can
all of them
print
or
it
only
directly
one
from there.
individual one?
I'm sorry, what?
Does it do a bunch of them or only one at a time?
It's I've only done it one at a time. I don't really see a way to do multiple ones.
There's an
But you can
old
do it one
link-
at a time that way.
Hey, Barb, I found a link there on how to share an ECG from your Apple Watch with your doctor.
oh, great,
It's-
Al.
It's on howtogeek.com.
Okay.
Just follow that link that I posted in the chat. See if
Super.
that helps you out.
Okay.
Oh, there's
I'm gonna post a link in a second that was an old way to export your health data. And it was a Safari link, and I'll see if I can find that, and I'll post that in the chat if I find it. I don't know if it still works, but I accidentally clicked on it the other day, so I know it. So yeah, it's a Apple Health XML to CSV converter. So I will put that one in the link and you guys can see if it'll work.
Thank you.
I have a question too, if I could. I installed the new operating system, so you're probably not gonna, but 3 or 4 days after I did that, my old incoming emails were all gone. And I saved, well, I saved lots. I mean, the most important ones were all put in mailboxes, but this was just the general incoming box. And I had a lot of emails in there going back.
Oh, there's Pete.
Yeah,
Hi, Pete.
And who's your email provider?
Oh, shoot. Comcast. Infinity. Well, what? I don't even know. I'm sorry.
Infinity is Comcast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would go directly to that site and see if it's still there. And that way you'll know if it's on the server or not to find out what's going on with that.
Because some of these, I've been talking to Apple lots, and I have not had much success. She can't do anything, and neither, I don't know. I just wondered if
Well,
anybody else had had that
If
problem.
you go to directly to where your email is, Comcast.net or Xfinity, to look at your email there and see if the sent ones are there, then that means that you could probably delete your account, re-add your account, and they would come back over. If they're not there, then the only hope is possibly a time machine backup.
Yeah, I can't find them on Time Machine. I have time.
Well, yeah, you know, and you don't want to at this point. You want to go see if they're on the server first.
Okay.
So go directly into
Not
your
checking
email.
archives.
Pardon?
Well,
Who-
let's not overcomplicate it. We need to see if they're there first.
All right.
Hi, Carlos.
Are-
I'm saying
there-
hello to a friend of mine that I haven't seen in years.
He's got a funny
Oh.
looking Stonehenge by him.
Oh, yeah. So,
Our
any other
co-host finally
questions?
joined us.
Right, I was just gonna,
It's the Spanish version.
I know a little Spanish. I know enough to be dangerous.
I wish I knew more.
Hello.
all right. With no
going,
further
Pete?
ado, or are we gonna, I would like to go ahead and, oh, Pete, I gotta make you a co-host. I thought I had.
Tom,
Yeah,
Pete does already have a Purple Mac question that I sent him a couple days ago.
oh, okay. All righty,
Let me get to that question.
all right.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Here it is. Waiting. All right. The question was, oh yeah, that's one of my favorites. The question was, hey, I'm trying to get a video sent to somebody. I had trouble putting it on a flash drive, or I have trouble emailing it. Video is certainly tough, but the details of this message were, the person said, I'm trying to put an iMovie onto a pen drive. It transfers to the pen drive, but won't play. I get a message saying it cannot be opened. The file isn't compatible with QuickTime Player. So what's going on there is, what you had done is taken the iMovie project file and you had put that on a flash drive. Well, an iMovie project file is only openable on a Mac with iMovie because that's sort of where you work on it. It's the workshop where you create the video. Exporting the video is key. When you export the video, you get to choose quality and resolution, which will make the file size really large or really compact, depending on what settings you choose. So exporting your project into a file size that is appropriate for your method of delivery, because if you're emailing something to somebody, you really can't just throw a 4 gigabyte file into an email and hit send and hope that it will reliably land on the other side. So yeah, sharing it is difficult sometimes. So I would export it out at the quality you're happy with, but lowest as possible, because the smaller file size is going to be helpful. And then for sharing video, it's interesting because here we are 25 years into having video cameras easily accessible, and nobody still has figured out, except for Google, nobody really has figured out how to easily move videos around from one to another. It's getting easier, but there still has to be a go-between, if you can imagine that. It's very difficult for me to send Al a video. It's just me throwing a video over to Al. It's just difficult. The file sizes are enormous. The codecs and the different coding for the videos vary from PC to Mac to other softwares. So I do believe that the safest route to sharing video is to bring a third party into it, right? Because you can't just send these things. And that third party, the most common one is YouTube. And then there's Vimeo. But let me qualify that though, because at this point, clients usually look at me and say, oh, I don't want to be on YouTube and I don't want to be on Vimeo. And I get that. Like, putting your video on YouTube doesn't mean you become a YouTube personality. It doesn't mean you get a lot of views on your video. It's just a storage space, and you can list videos as unlisted. Oh yeah, that's an oxymoron. No, yeah, you can put your videos on YouTube and mark them as unlisted, making it so that if somebody doesn't have a link to it, they won't be able to find it anyway. So my recommendation is to use the export feature of whatever software you use to make your movie. In your case, you used iMovie. Let's get that video exported. And the format with which you export that video is going to rely heavily upon what you can do with it. If it's going up to YouTube, I would crank the quality way up because YouTube has tons of space. They're not worried about it. If you're trying to send it directly to somebody, if you're going to take the risk of sticking a video in an email or you're going to put it on a flash drive, then file size is important. So you'll have to export that video at the highest quality you can based on the delivery method you choose. But all that to say, sending a video to somebody isn't as easy as it should be. Like, you know, if you have a 5-minute video of part of a recital that you want to share with somebody, it's just not easy. You got to upload it somewhere and then send them the link to it so they can see it. So your question is answered by saying QuickTime got confused because it could not understand the iMovie project file. QuickTime is only designed to understand video codecs that are common. So when you did that thing and you tried to open the video, QuickTime was saying, well, that's an iMovie file. I don't know how to read that. So you would just have to go back to iMovie, export your video out of iMovie with whatever quality you can afford with your delivery method. And then that would be the best way to go for that question. I don't even remember what I just said. I forgot it all.
How's it going in Georgia?
Lovely. Absolutely lovely. The holiday season is upon us, and it's just couldn't be better. There's so many family-oriented things all around, so it's really cool to, you know, we still have a young family, so we get out there a lot and take advantage of the holiday festivities. It's been great.
Great.
Well, Ken, are you domestic or what? Are you tuning in from Abu Dhabi or something? What are you doing?
Buenos Aires.
You what?
Buenos Aires.
Are you really in Buenos Aires?
Yeah, it's what is it? midnight. And this is a cool bridge that I took a photo of last night right behind. It's a swing bridge.
Beautiful.
They invested in some Philips Hue lights.
Yeah. Great lighting.
Yeah, I'm on the way to Antarctica and Patagonia after this.
Come back in one piece. Say hi to the penguins.
Yeah, lots of penguins, I hope.
I've had some friends that have taken that. They marvel about it. It's pretty
We
epic.
don't have any rough seas.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm prepared for that. I've got the Dramamine and the little dots for there because the Drake Passage, and of course it looks like there will be a storm when we're making the crossing. So if next time you see me, I look really green, you'll know why.
Well, it sounds exciting, Ken.
If there's one thing I know about Ken, it's bet on Ken. I haven't seen Ken lose in the 20 years I've known him. The strength and endurance for this guy is just it's amazing. So I'd have fun and conquer it because I know you will.
Bring us back some great pictures.
You bet. I'll post them. I posted a few already on Facebook for.
I love those eyes.
Buenos Aires, by the way, beautiful city, and I saved myself, and the beef here is incredible in Argentina, and
Picanha?
No, actually, I did a ribeye and then did skirt steak, traditional skirt steak, which I really liked tonight. So that's it. I'm beefed out for a while, and I think on the vessel on the boat we get lobster as often when we want. So I'll be transitioning to that, and that'll be just fine.
We got to teach Ken how to use iMovie so he can get all these videos that he's taking put together. Ken, you got to take an iMovie class.
Well, hey Pete, one question on that when you mentioned the YouTube, isn't there also a private setting, and does that have some restrictions then, or would that be in, you can do the non-listed one, and then I think there is also private, but does that create another obstacle?
Sure. Yeah. Back to the video sharing. There is a caveat that Ken brings up here, where you can do unlisted, which would mean that nobody will find your video. Most likely, nobody will find your video unless they know exactly the URL to go to. But people can find it. And if you gave me the link to the video and I decided to post it online, then everybody who sees that link can see the video. So that's marking it as unlisted. It is still linked to, you just won't show up in searches. People won't see your video after they watch their thing. You won't pop up as recommended because it's unlisted. But if you choose private is another way to go. What private does is locks it completely. And the only way somebody can view it is if you invited them by their YouTube account. Not their email address and not their iCloud and not all the other identities they have. They must have a YouTube account and they must know how to access the YouTube account. So if you know somebody and they're active on YouTube, just watching even, or maybe they post, you could certainly share that video with them, but that really takes away your options for a broad and wide share for the video, because private means I have to go get myself a YouTube account in order to just see it. The reason YouTube does this is not only to restrict not only to restrict your content from other people seeing it, but also it makes it so you're sharing with somebody who has a verified identity, right? Because with YouTube, you now have somebody who has a two-factor verified identity. So there's a lot to it, especially with all the video content that's being uploaded today. I think there's something like 5 million hours of video uploaded every hour or something like that. There's a lot of jaw-dropping statistics about how much video is getting uploaded with TikTok and all this stuff. So there are ways to do it. You just have to be a little bit more savvy in today's world. I like the old world where we used to just hit send and something would go somewhere and we knew it would arrive. I really miss that. I wish video wasn't such a behemoth that outgrew those things very quickly, because an email was created by scientists and military, right? It was just like text transmissions back and forth. None of that infrastructure was really built for sending a 5 gigabyte file through the wires. It's just a tough
predated all our technology.
Yeah, it's just a video is still tough. I don't know why, and the kids get it. Like my daughter, she can upload a video to TikTok or whatever. They have this really instant, snappy way of doing it. It's just not the same for us who just want to share a slideshow of our vacation or something. You don't need TikTok and anything flashy. So it is still a conundrum. If you'd like to call or email me, or again, you're traveling, but if you'd like to call or email me, if you're really stuck with that, or you really want to find a workflow to share videos and stuff, I'd be happy to book a half hour with you or something to teach you the workflow and get you to a place where it's easy to export, easy to share if you need that. So yeah, there's that. Let me throw one last thing in there. I'll just throw this in there. Sorry, iCloud, I'm getting it all mixed up. Photos. Your iCloud photos, right? If you opt into the iCloud photo library, which you don't have to, some of you may not be opted into iCloud photo library, but if you do opt in, then all the photos on all your devices merge in the cloud, right? The cloud's like a vacuum cleaner. It brings up all your photos to the cloud and then redistributes them to all your devices. This is a great way to share video because you can make a shared album with somebody that you consistently share pictures and videos with. And then you can take a video with your phone and then put it in that shared album. And then that person will be notified immediately that you've uploaded the video to their shared album. Shared albums are free. They're part of your iCloud account. You may outgrow your storage and have to pay more per month, right? You get a free 5 gigabytes, but if you outgrow 5, you you have a sliding scale of plans you can choose. So Ken, sorry about that, but I just wanted to make sure that if it's casual video sharing from something you shot at a recital or something, iCloud Photos library, iCloud Photo Library is a must. But if it is a produced piece that you made in iMovie, a slideshow with music and stuff, and you want to export it, that's a little bit different. So I just want to make sure I mentioned.
But you know, and it's a great point. And by the way, you don't have to have iCloud Photo Library on to do a shared album. You can do it without it, and that would help. But the other weird way to do it is if you have an iCloud or a .me or .mac account, you can do a larger file share through that account. But that's a whole nother conundrum. My question that I was going to ask you was going back to both the unlisted and the private in YouTube. Do either of those have exactly the same restrictions about copyrights as far as music and stuff?
Yeah, good question. As you may or may not know, that any copyrighted work, even if it's just a jingle, a song, happy birthday, any of that, will be subject to copyright scrutiny by Google. The problem with this is there used to be an office full of people that eventually would get to the complaints, right? That was kind of easy to dodge the police back in the day. Now everything that gets uploaded is scanned by a computer, and the computer is listening and watching. It's listening and watching for known copyrighted things. So it has a database of all the music in the world, and then they just match it to that. So whatever sound you upload and whatever video you upload is being scanned, and YouTube is being notified if you are uploading anything with copyright. Now look, the consequences of uploading something with copyright, if money isn't changing hands, are just about zero, right? If you're not looking for money to change hands, the worst that could happen is the owner of that music could tell YouTube that they want to give you a copyright strike on your record because you used it without their permission. This seems absurd to me that anybody would worry about this, especially if it's just for a family picnic reunion that you want people to see. But if you are going live on YouTube and you're going to upload videos to hopefully one day be monetized and gain a wide audience, then to Ken's point here, it's a great big pitfall to put any copyrighted material in there. As a matter of fact, I have about 1 million views of all my Empower Mac videos combined that I uploaded about 15 years ago, 10 years, I don't know. But because I closed out each one with credits that had a classic rock song on there, Boston, More Than a Feeling, Blue Oyster Cult, I went crazy with it because the people who were watching the video would comment and say, awesome song, can't wait for the next one. It became a thing. But guess what? All those million views went unmonetized. I didn't make a dime because what I had done is accidentally, well, it wasn't an accident. I was just ignorant. I didn't know that was going to happen. I didn't know using a clip from this song was going to do that. So here I have 1 million views later and not a penny to show for it. But I think in today's world, 1 million views is like $300 or something like that. So it's not like I missed out on a gold mine, but it's just be cognizant of that stuff. If you're trying to go live, get monetized and get a broad audience, stay far away from. By the way, a recommendation, Al, you might want to punch this up and put it in the chat. Envato Elements, for any of you creators out there, whether you're creating digital SVG files, whether you're creating music, videos, slideshows, Envato Elements, I think I pay $129 a year. $129 a year. And I have unlimited access to that entire category. There are sound effects, royalty-free music, tons of it that can be used in your slideshows or your presentations, graphics, tons of graphics. So Envato Elements is amazing. And for $150 a year, if you are a content creator, I believe that Envato is a must. So another tidbit there for you.
So, and even if you're not going to monetize the videos, for instance, we had a takedown because I sometimes in presentations will show Apple's clip of certain things, and that got us taken down. So it's not even if you're trying to not get monetized, they'll take the video down, and that's the right. It's you know, Apple's pretty loose on it for the most part, but it's happened to us over at the other Apple user group too. But the other thing is, if you're using iMovie or Photos and you use the built-in soundtracks that Apple provides, not the ones from your catalog of music, but the ones they provide, those are royalty-free music, and those can be used in those things.
Yep. And just to level out the takedown thing, Ken was saying, hey, we put videos up there, YouTube stripped them right off the internet because we had included, you know, some of Apple's content. The content creator decides that. The content creator, like Apple, a big fish like that, would tell YouTube, if anybody uses our videos for more than 30 seconds, delete the video. And YouTube complies, you know, they're big tech companies. But some people don't have that order in, you know, like Blue Oyster Cult didn't make YouTube take my video down because it had their song in it. Some creators, like Ken said, are very lenient about it and don't look for trouble, you know, or you're the one making trouble, but they don't go, hey, you use that, you have 400 views, that's my song, I'm mad about it. You rarely see that. It's where money is changing hands. That's where all the attention is, because, hey, that's somebody else's money that's changing hands. Anyway, let's see. Looking at the chat just to see if anything going on in there. Cool. So hopefully that answers that. That was a long one. We went a lot of ways with that question about iMovie and video. I like this.
Yeah, I posted some stuff in the chat about a support document from Google about strikes, community guidelines, strike basics on YouTube. Want to take a peek at that if anyone's curious. It's pretty good. It talks about first strike, second strike, third strike, and consequences, blah, blah, blah.
Yep. Yep. And for content creators, this stuff is important because in today's world, that's their career. Content creators they're doing a job. That's what they do. They don't have another job. So these kind of rules and things like that are their bread and butter. They're very important for the content creators who rely on YouTube for their income. For the rest of us, obviously, this may be good to know if you're an active uploader, you know, and stuff like that. But again, I have 1 million views on things that have a song at the end that doesn't belong to me, and all of them are still up and haven't been struck or anything like that. The only thing I didn't get is money because I couldn't, because I had used copyright material.
And if you were to redo those and take the music off the end,
yes,
yeah, but it'd be like starting over at 0. You wouldn't have those 1 million views, and the 1 million views are what drive more viewers.
Yes. Yep. And not only that, but in tech, the expiration date is like 2 weeks. Oh, yeah. Like the keynote's already updated. It's already all different than it was when I made those videos. So yeah, it's just a tough thing to keep up with. But anyway.
Well, yes, we all say, Pete, we need new Empower Mac content.
Yeah. Where do I pay?
There ain't a day that goes by that I don't think about that. The online Empower Mac, right here over Zoom. It's such a good idea.
I hurt myself reaching for my wallet.
I'm gonna bail out, you guys. Thanks. I've got
all right, buddy.
So
have a good adventure.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great time, Pete. Thank you very much. And
thank you. My pleasure. Thank you.
Happy traveling.
Yes.
Happy trails, fair winds.
Que tenga buen tiempo.
Thanks, man. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Well,
all right, Pete, would you like to carry on then, or?
Yeah, I'm happy to. I know that breaks are usually handled individually. So again, maybe it's already been said, but if you do want to get up and refill your water or something, I think we just do that as needed. So there won't be a hard start and stop for a break, I don't think. Right? Do I have that right, Thomas? We usually.
I'm good. You're the leader, Dieter, on this. I'm wanting you to make you happy.
You know, you can talk for hours there, Pete. You
man.
You know, we're the lucky beneficiaries of all that stuff in between your ears. So
for 20 years, I've been requesting 4-hour blocks.
Yeah, definitely would need a break after that.
Yes. Well, I wanted to start by checking in with you and maybe asking some questions or leading some conversations related to our topic tonight, which is electronic pay. not just paying online, like, you know, you buy something from Amazon, that's electronic pay, but I'm talking about the depth and breadth of what today's world has brought with electronic payments and how different it is from where we were. It's just some things you should be aware of. They're probably good to know, but I don't know any of it. This isn't really about security and safety, although we'll talk about that, but these are all good to know things. You should be an informed consumer, and your money is a business, a huge business. As a matter of fact, transactions are a gold mine. If somebody can get a penny from every transaction that happens, they are, they are wealthy. So this is a highly sought after thing. People want transactions. And for decades, it was controlled by the folks who put in the hardware. You see, the people who controlled the hardware would put the terminals in a deal with the bank. The cards would slide, and a percentage is paid by the retailer to these people who came and put the hardware in. If they refuse, then the people who put the hardware in could say, well, we'll pull our hardware out and you will no longer be able to accept credit cards. So what's it going to be? So for decades, we would go to a retailer, we would slide our card through a rickety, half-attached thing that's falling off the cash register. And then we would punch in our number, and the retailer would pay that company for the privilege of sliding a card. Well, in today's world, that's changed, because all it takes in today's world to accept a payment is a computer terminal. That's all that's needed. And every store has a computer terminal at every register. So the people who used to run the cables and the people who used to install the hardware controlled the game, but they're gone now. They've been cut out. How have they been cut out? Because a computer terminal that's connected to the internet now exists at every cash register. So instead of having a special thing that you have to slide your card, a special piece of machinery, everything can all be handled on one computer screen now. This put the power back in the hands of the retailers, right? The retailer said, aha, these transactions are valuable. Every transaction that takes place, whether in a store or online, somebody's getting a piece of it. So now the business has changed, and the internet is now the place that is used for controlling the transactions, and nobody owns the internet. So now each individual retailer sees a pile of money. Lowe's sees a pile of money. Home Depot sees a pile of money. Walmart sees a pile of money. What do I mean by that? Well, they're all developing their own payment systems. They want to get that money. They want to own the transaction fees. So it's very clumsy, but companies like Lowe's, Home Depot, and Walmart are out there trying to emulate what Apple has done with Apple Pay. As we know from those who do try to follow in Apple's footsteps, Apple doesn't usually enter an arena like this unless they have it figured out. Usually they define an entire business model. And with Apple Pay, they've done just that. Before Apple threw their hat in this ring, there were a bunch, it was like the Wild West. There were a bunch of rogue companies trying to figure out how to get their hands on all these transactions that are made every day. And Apple came along and disrupted the industry and said, we're going to do Apple Pay. Anybody with an iOS device and an iCloud account will now be able to securely pay with Apple Pay. And Apple put it out there. Well, as you probably know from shopping at various retailers, you will sometimes get to a retailer that accepts Apple Pay, and sometimes you will not. If you get to a place where somebody does not accept Apple Pay, that means that the transaction revenue is going to somebody else. Apple was not allowed to reach their hand in and get some of that transaction revenue. The problem with others versus Apple is others are typically fly-by-night opportunists. They want to get their hands in this transaction frenzy and come away with a bunch of cash and move on. The great thing about Apple is that's not them. They've been around a long time and have proven to us time and time again that safety and security is their game. Whereas somebody like Google, let's say, has said, data is our game. We don't care about safety and security. We just want all your data. And Apple says, we want to charge you a lot for hardware, but we're going to keep all your data safe. So here's the thing is that Apple has an advantage where nobody else does. All these other companies are in a cash grab to get all these transaction dollars. But what Apple's done is said, yes, there is going to be a transaction fee for this. Here's full transparency about what it goes to, but also they get Apple has the only fraud-proof payment out there. Just let that sink in for a minute. Apple has come to market with a fraud-proof payment type without knowing that this is what we all wanted from the beginning. None of us wanted a rectangle plastic card that you swipe in various places or hand to a person that works at a place and takes it in the back room and slides it on a machine. None of us wanted this. You know, we wanted convenience and security, and Apple brought that. I'm going to explain a little bit about how they've done that. But let me take a breath here and see if anybody has questions. We'll also do questions at the end, you know, so if you want to hold it, you can. If it's a general question, you can. But if you have a question about anything I was just saying here, you can definitely come off mute. I'll just continue, but interrupt me anytime. I don't mind at all. So I just sort of put this together to I don't know, have a visual for this discussion because it's sprawling. This discussion is sprawling. You know, when we talk about electronic payments, I don't think we quite realize that everything is an electronic payment now. Cash is rarely used anymore. As a matter of fact, we were at a hotel last weekend, the anniversary trip. The vending machine, I just popped my watch against it, and then Apple Pay paid for my soda. From us old school, you know, if you're from the old school, you're going, I'm not going to slide a card for $1.50. That's insane, right? When we started using credit cards, however many decades ago, it was held for big things. Oh my gosh, we got to spend a lot of money with these. With electronic payments, it's different. It's like there's no formality to it. It's really weird. You can walk up to a vending machine and click your watch against it and food falls out. So it's like the convenience is now there, but where are we at with security, right? Who of these people is watching out for our money? If you consider brick and mortar, that's, if you don't know, that's somehow, sometimes that's how they refer to retail stores. Brick and mortar would be JCPenney, Walmart, any store you can enter and purchase something. In brick and mortar, electronic payments are at the cash register, as you already know. I'm sure some of you made an electronic payment at a store today or this week. They're at the cash register, the vending machines now. You can pay your hotel bill with electronic payment. You can use your phone to open your hotel room door now with NFC or near field communications. So we're seeing a lot of things get tied into that device in your pocket. Movies, you now can pay for them on your phone using Apple Pay and then just scan a QR code when you get there and then you go right through. So movies, sporting events. I went to a sporting event and there was a QR code on my phone and I thought, gosh, I could just take a screenshot of this QR code and send it to somebody and they could get in here too. But as I was watching that QR code, it kept changing. It was ever changing. This is a very secure way to make sure not more than one people can use that ticket. So there's a lot of clever ways people are doing things. You think about online sales, Amazon, Etsy, eBay, Target, investments and trading, E-Trade, you know, and you check your E-Trade or your retirement, your 401k, it's all done on a website, right? It's all online somewhere. Bill pay, your utilities, my utilities all come out of my bank automatically. Insurance is just a subscription to me. You probably have tons of subscriptions, Hulu, Netflix, I don't know. Dog food shows up on our front porch. So we have a subscription to dog food. You know, there's ink for my printer shows up when I need it. It's just like, then there's sending money. This is also just has become a crowded field. It's just hard to figure out, where am I supposed to go? First, it was PayPal. Everybody thought, okay, PayPal, this is the way we're going to bank electronically. And then PayPal is shoved out of the way by other, ambitious entrepreneurs. You got Venmo, Cash App, Zelle. I think Zelle is a property of Morgan Chase, JP Morgan Chase. I think JP Morgan Chase created Zelle as their own because they want that transaction money too. And then there are even others out there. There are some smaller ones, smaller cash moving apps out there. Just want to quickly run through some unique things about each of these 4 categories we have here. Brick and mortar, you're bringing a card. You have the option at brick and mortar to pay with a card or your phone in most cases, right? Like I have a Publix down the street. Oh, that's our grocery store here, like Lucky or Safeway. Our Publix is, they accept Apple Pay. So every time I go, I simply double tap my phone, click it against the thing, and the payment is done. But what's interesting is you can also slide your card if you want. Some people will say, I don't want to use this because I'm worried that somebody's going to grab my info. So they still use their card. This is backwards. The card is very dangerous, and this is not. So if you are a holdout, if you're going, no way, I'm using this card, shed the card, get rid of it, leave it at home. I don't carry cards with me anymore at all. Shed, because the card, the physical card and that card number is what gets everybody in trouble. Identity theft, people using it at gas stations, those cards are a difficult thing. Okay, so the unique thing about brick and mortar, I think, is that card can be handled by somebody with bad intentions. It can be dropped, lost, stolen. I was a retailer for 25 years. I was a retail manager, Staples, Home Depot, Toys R Us. I worked for all these companies. I was responsible for all the dollars moving through all these buildings. There's a lot of opportunity there. There's a lot of weird things that go on in retail stores. Cash is highly sought after. I was robbed at gunpoint once at a Lucky store, Alamany Boulevard in San Francisco. There's a lot of things going on. Less cash is obviously better. So you can bring a card into brick and mortar. Brick and mortar still operates traditionally. You can still use pennies and dollars. Now, online sales, I have a little example here that I'll show you, but online sales use something called cookies. You've heard a lot about cookies over the last year because there was all this controversy about us approving cookies. You ever see now every website you go to, you now have to say, okay, I approve these cookies or I don't. Well, what cookies are is, you ever see those friendship necklaces that says best friends, but the pendant is broken in half and one best friend wears one half and another best friend wears the other half? The only way to put them together and see the whole thing is if that best friend comes next to me and we hold them together. Well, Amazon does that with you. They gave you a little best friend necklace. You have half of it on your neck and they have half of it on theirs. When you navigate to their website, they put that together and they go, bing, it's Randy. How do I know? Our friendship thing fits together. This is how cookies work. Little bits left on your side, little bits left on their side. And when that's detected, bing, then you're in. So with Amazon, they have my credit cards on file already. They've got them. When I want to order something, I just hit order and it shows up. Because they have their own payments. Amazon Pay is their own type of payment system. But you can use Apple Pay on Amazon, or you can use your Apple credit card on Amazon. You see where this can get confusing? That's weird. Apple has some solutions. Let's talk about what Apple's solutions are. Because I believe that, it's my own personal belief that Apple is a company that I want to trust with my money. You may be thinking like, well, what are you talking about, Pete? But I currently trust JP Morgan Chase Bank with my money, a far smaller company than Apple. And I don't know. It seems to me like sending my money through Apple servers, I think they're the experts on this stuff. So if you look at the 5 ways, or the 5 ways that Apple allows you to use your money electronically, this is where we zoom in a little bit, and we get a little higher resolution about this, because these 5 things here can be very confusing. So you have Apple Pay. This is the property you use at the cash register at Whole Foods. The cashier tells you that your total is $17. You double click your home, your sleep button, right? You just go click, click, you double click it. And in doing that, your credit card pops up on the screen. It says, credit card is ready. You see, if you decided that's not the credit card for you, here, I'm going to stop sharing so I can make my video a bit larger, and that will make it so this screen. Spotlight. Okay. So I double tapped my home button, right? I did my tap, tap. That brought up my credit card. This happens to be my Apple card, Apple partnering with Goldman Sachs. So there it is. I might not want to use my Apple card on this transaction that I'm doing. So if I tap it, all my other cards will show up. Perhaps I want to use a different one instead. So then I can just switch to another one, and maybe I'll use that one. So you can see that paying with your digital wallet at a cash register at, say, Whole Foods, very easy and secure. I'll share again because I have some remarks on that. Okay, here we go. So Apple Pay, I think you get it. Many of you have even used it. So hey, I think the convenience and the security, I'm sold. But then you have Apple Cash. This is where things start to get confusing, because if I look in that same Apple wallet, you know, I can go to my wallet, you know, that little wallet app. I'm just going to open the wallet app. And in there is an Apple Cash card. You'll probably see it in yours too. Does that mean I have an Apple credit card? What is this Apple Cash card? Do you have anything on yours? Holler if you have money on yours. I do. But where is this money?
Yeah.
What? This is a Apple Cat? What? I don't know. So I have a balance of $477.25 in Apple Cash. What does that even mean? I'll tell you what it means. That's a holding area. This is a holding area because Apple's not a bank, right? They're parking your money here digitally. They're saying, we're going to put it on this. It's essentially a gift card, this Apple card. They say, we're going to put your money on this gift card. So you might be thinking, well, first of all, I didn't ask for an Apple Cash card. And second of all, the money's on it, but I can't even use it. What gives? Let's talk about that, because when I found out that that cash card, your Apple Cash card, can be used in Apple Pay transactions, just like a credit card, I was so happy because I have a little balance here. I'm able to go to a retailer that takes Apple Pay, and I'm able to use that cash balance at retailers who accept Apple Pay. So that part was pretty cool. But then I found out if I tap the 3 dots in the upper right-hand corner, I can just have that money sent to my bank account. They'll just put it in there for me. I got to put my bank account info in, but that cash card that you have in your wallet is just a holding area. You can use it. You can send it to people. You can open your text messages and you can send somebody $50 for lunch today. They'll receive it in their cash card, but they have to have Apple Cash. The good news is you can't even send somebody Apple Cash if they're not accepting Apple Cash payments. So if you have a friend who has Android and you try to send them Apple Cash, it will reject your request to send it to them because it's smart enough to know that person can't receive Apple Cash. Even my cousin who does have an iPhone, I tried to send him Apple Cash and it told me this person doesn't use it. So he hasn't set it up yet. I called him immediately and we got it set up now. So if you look in, in my wallet, I'm getting a bit confused because I have the Apple credit card, which I applied for through Goldman Sachs, and then I have an Apple Cash card. So the credit card obviously is just a credit card like any other. They even shipped me a physical copy of it. I know many of you have one of these. I love my titanium Apple Card. You got to hear the sound. Titanium, very interesting card to hold in your hands, very rigid. But there are some great things about Apple's Apple Card. One of them is there are no numbers on this card. There's no credit card number on there. Now, this can be problematic if you don't know the next bit. So tune in if you have an Apple credit card. The Apple Card has no numbers on it. And there have been plenty of times where a retailer has looked at this very card I have here, turned it over and said, I need to punch in the last 4 digits of your credit card to complete this transaction. And this card has no numbers on it. Well, and there's a reason I'm not sharing my screen today. This is being live streamed and I'm showing financial data. And so if I share my phone screen, I could let something through that may be private. And since it's being live streamed, there's no way to pull it back. So I am being a little bit more careful about what I'm pulling up here out of your view, and then I'll show it to you here. I know it's not a great visual. I'm just sort of showing you some examples, but I do have some screenshots in the next slide that will bring it to life a little bit more. So in my wallet is my Apple credit card and my Apple Cash card. So that's these two things, right? I have this and I have this in my Apple wallet on my phone. I have these two things in my Apple wallet on my phone. Now, Apple Pay, then the question might be, well, okay, well, how do you access Apple Pay? Because you have an Apple Cash card and Apple credit card, so how do you use Apple Pay? That's where it's a little meta, but Apple Pay is the vehicle by which you use Apple Cash or Apple credit card. Apple Pay is the infrastructure. So if somebody accepts Apple Pay, you'll be able to use whatever's in your wallet to pay because they accept Apple Pay. So the reason I made this slide in the visual is because this is all confusing and all these titles sound very similar. So then there's Apple financing, which I didn't really know what that was until I was shopping for an iPad, and Apple financing said, since you're an Apple credit card customer, go ahead and buy this iPad and we're going to finance it for you. All right, so Apple financing will, if you're an Apple credit card holder only, there's an Apple financing program where what they do is they take the total of your purchase and divide it by 24. They don't charge you a fee for this. And every month they simply throw that equation on your credit card bill. So I bought an iPad, it was about $126 a month. I was going to pay for this iPad. Apple sent it to me, and then every month they simply drop $150 on my card balance that I pay to pay off this iPad. I don't usually finance stuff like that, but there was no interest and no reason not to. So I did it. So that's Apple financing, which is exclusive to people who have an Apple credit card. And then there's the Apple upgrade program. I just wanted to call that out too. That's Apple's phone upgrade program. What's really important about that is the carriers have traditionally had all the power. The carriers, by that I mean AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile. At the beginning, Apple went to AT&T and said, we want you to be our partner, but we don't like you putting people in 2-year contracts for the hardware. AT&T said, out of the question, no way, we're doing contracts. So Apple had to capitulate. There's an interview with Steve Jobs where he said, I hated it, but we had to do it. It's what the phone companies wanted. Well, that's changing. Steve Jobs' ripples are still having an effect because Apple's upgrade program takes the power out of the hands of the provider, Verizon and all them. What it does is Apple simply finances the hardware to you. Again, there's no service fee. They just divide your total by 24 and then charge you each month that amount. Every year you can hand this back to them and they'll hand you a new one. You got the brand new phone. The catch is you pay forever. I'll probably always have a phone payment because I need the latest phone. So it's one of those things that I've just given up. I've said, I'll always have a phone payment. But every year I get to hand it back and they hand me the new one. And so it's really nice. I did the math with my mom on that too, because she was laughing at me because I do that. But she went out and bought a phone outright. She paid $1,200 for it with tax. 2 years later, she went to sell it and she got $200 for it. So who was laughing? I was like, well, you just lost $1,000. And I didn't, because I never owned the hardware. Something to think about. Those of you who are chuckling at me because I will pay $50 a month for the rest of my life for the latest phone, maybe you're right. But the other way, it puts the power back in the hands of the carrier, right? They lock you into that 2-year contract. They tell you you're not allowed to upgrade for another 6 months. They add charges. Like I went to upgrade my phone and they said, oh, there's a one-time fee of $40. But you're just taking $40 because you feel like it. It's just, so putting the power back in Apple's hands to me is of utmost importance.
Hey,
I'm
Pete,
Yeah.
you said that they get charged 24 months, but you're saying you get the new phone every year? Okay,
Yes.
so those are out of sync, one's a year and one's two years. Okay.
Yeah. They will just keep cycling you every year if you want. If you don't hand the phone back and get the new one, then after 2 years, you're done. You own it. You've paid it off and you now own that piece of hardware. The problem is, the problem is a 2-year-old phone is worthless. It's worth about $400 maybe. So because in phone terms, 2 years is an eternity. So you do get, there's advantages and disadvantages to both, I think. But yeah, if you just pay it for 2 years and you own it and you're out of the program and it's your piece of hardware and it's not tied to a carrier, it's just yours and you can sell it to a private party. It's very convenient. I strongly, strongly recommend anybody who uses an iPhone to be in the Apple Upgrade program. Take the power out of the hands of the provider. When you're in the Apple Upgrade program and you're paying them for your hardware, then you just go to the phone company and say, what's your cheapest monthly service? $40 a month, here's my phone, attach it to it. You have the power in that case. So I highly recommend you use the Apple Upgrade program. There's no catch. They just divide your total by 24. They don't add anything to it. So I think it's extraordinary deal. So those are ways you can take advantage of Apple's solutions to some of these payment conundrums that we're seeing. Here's another thing that I really liked is that, oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Before you get beyond that, I got my phone through T-Mobile, and it seemed like I was getting the upgrade program. Does the upgrade need to be with the Apple Store?
I don't think so. I think the carrier outlets are authorized to process Apple Upgrade Program transactions. So yes, you are able to take advantage of the Apple Upgrade Program either at an Apple Store or at an authorized provider like Verizon, T-Mobile, AT&T. So they are authorized. They have their own computer terminal that they can go in and get you set up on that. So
okay,
thank you. It was probably on the up and up, unless somebody was being untoward that day. I'm sure it was on the up.
Well, we'll see. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, it always remains to be seen.
Here's again with a technical problem.
Yeah, what's that?
Okay. A little while ago, I stopped the video because I was taking a break. Okay. When I came back and I hit the start video button, I get a message that says, unable to start video. You cannot start your video because the host has stopped it. This is a problem. Tom Spencer must have some setting cattywop and
yeah, he was tired of looking at you. I mean, can you blame him?
Yeah, well, he's offline now, right? Tom, try to start your video.
Yeah, I'm.
Okay, so yours started, mine won't.
It says stop live stream. Do you want me to stop it?
No. Somehow you stopped my.
I'm trying to activate you, Bob. As a co-host, I'm trying to activate you, but I don't have the option. Thomas, if you just go to Bob's tile and
right, I got you.
Yeah, just see
Oh,
that. Okay.
I asked him if he wanted to be, and I hadn't.
Oh, okay. So we were talking about when when you go to a retailer and you get your receipt, and the last 4 digits of your credit card are usually printed on your receipt, but the other numbers are starred out. When you use your Apple credit card, you'll see that, but those are 4 fake numbers. What Apple does is they've created this, what I think is really genius process, where if you use your Apple credit card or Apple Pay, then the retailer always gets a random 16-digit number. They never even get your credit card number, so they can't do anything with it even if they wanted to. And so that can be tricky for those of you who do have this card, because when you go try to get a refund on something, oftentimes a retailer will say, do you have the card that you bought it with? And then if you give them this card, sometimes it's confusing to them because they're like, well, there's no number on here, and the 16-digit number doesn't appear to be the same. Well, it's because there's a random number each time. In the beginning, this was very problematic, but retailers have now caught up and have a way to identify transactions in most cases. But if you run into any problems with that, there is an app. I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. In the Wallet app, you can open your Apple credit card and you can see all of the information about the card number, a card number you can give retailers if they ask you for one. You can have, there are additional card numbers that are stored in there that you can access. And if you ever feel as though there's foul play afoot, you can hit a button that will change your credit card number permanently without having to get a new card, because they didn't print any numbers on this card. They just change it. So if you feel there's any foul play, which I don't really know how there would be, you can just change the credit card number without even having to wait for a new card. Amazing stuff that they're doing. So let me see. This next one, I'm wanting to go over some e-commerce with you on this next one. So let me build this in bit by bit so we can. And go ahead, Barbara. I can take your question while we wait for this to load.
I sometimes have trouble using my Apple Watch to pay, and I don't know why. I never have trouble with my phone, but with my watch I do. I know it's the bottom button, not the crown, but the bottom button. How many times are you supposed to press it? What am I doing wrong?
Yeah, well, listen, I have a couple remarks about that. Number one is, every year when I get a new phone, or every 2 years, however often you get a new phone, all those Apple credit, or all those credit cards and wallet, and I don't know how many you have. You might have 1, you might have 17. I have a lot. I think I have 10 credit cards in my digital Apple wallet. Well, every time you get a new device, each one has to be reapproved.
I'm trying to use my Apple card.
Yeah,
I'm trying to use Apple Pay.
Yeah. Well, Apple Pay won't work if there's no cards in there. So the Apple Pay on your watch is different than Apple Pay on your phone. You can open the Watch app, and there is an Apple Pay section in the Watch app, and that will allow you to approve or add any cards that were previously in there. But problem number one may be that your card isn't in there. But if the card is in there, then yeah, simply double tapping that button should bring up your Apple Pay, and then you hold it near the reader. If that's not happening, you may have it set up so a double tap of that button does not invoke Apple Pay. That's possible too in settings. So you may want to, I could troubleshoot with you at some point to investigate that, or you may want to just open the Watch app and get in those settings and see if you can find anything. But you're probably doing nothing wrong. It's probably just a setting that just needs to be clicked.
Well, where's the double tap thing? Because my Apple Card's in there. I'm looking right now. The Apple Card's in there under Watch.
Okay, so go to your Watch home screen. Don't be in an app or anything. Just be on the watch face. Just be on the time, and then double tap that button. Just press it 2 times and pretty close. Look, mine pops up and says hold near reader, and my card is ready just from a double tap. And again, if you're double tapping and it's not happening, then yeah, let's get in those settings and take a look. Maybe at the end or something. Because yeah, we certainly can.
Okay, it heard you talking. It's fine now.
Yeah. Tech cowers
The
at my
doctor
voice.
is in.
Yes. Technology cowers at my voice. It's afraid of me. Okay, let's see. So then this is a real transaction that I did today. And I wanted to share this with you because Apple Pay also just makes it absolutely effortless to spend money. I just like it's difficult. So here I was on a website today, and I'm buying a thing. I'm saying, all right, I need some of this material for my whatever. And so I go hit the button, the dreaded proceed to checkout button. Yes. And there it is. And then you get the next screen. Now, this is very interesting. You can see here that I have been presented with 4 options with a big or button down there. And what this means is, and this is just any ordinary website, I didn't pick this one because it was particular or special. Most e-commerce websites, when it's time to pay, give you this option. Either the express checkout, which is taking advantage of some of the properties that we talked about. You can see them here. Apple Pay is on there, PayPal is on there, Google Pay is on there. So seeing that Apple Pay on my phone makes me giddy. Why? Because with one tap, I'm paid up, right? If I choose Apple Pay, look at this. It already has all my info in there. If I don't use Apple Pay, look at this crap I have to deal with. I have to enter all this information, my shipping address, my billing address, my credit card number, date, and CCV number. If there was somebody, and the chances are very low, very, very low, but if there was somebody capturing traffic on my internet, let's say, I've just, there's a thing called a keylogger. Okay, what a keylogger does, it's a little piece of malware, and it reads every key press you make to the bad guys. They get this list of every key press you make. And then they use programs to go through all those key presses and figure out where your credit card number is. This is a PC problem, not a Mac or iOS problem, but using this, you don't enter anything. When you click on that Apple Pay button, you're now in Apple's secure ecosystem. You're not even punching your info into the website. You're just telling Apple, I'm buying something from this website, please pay them and let them know where to send it. That's it. That's what I love about seeing that symbol there. So when you see that symbol, it means you can take advantage of Apple Pay. Now, you will not see that symbol on any device that is not set up actively for Apple Pay. So in a week from now, you might be going, man, I ordered 4 things and I never saw the Apple Pay symbol. Pete's crazy. Well, if you're on your Mac and your Mac doesn't have Apple Pay, some Macs do. Mine does. My iMac has Apple Pay because there's a fingerprint reader on the keyboard. That's why they can do Apple Pay, because biometrics are a must. This is another thing that makes it fraud proof. The only way you can use Apple Pay is either with a fingerprint or with a facial scan. Nobody can emulate your fingerprint or your facial scan. So this is what eliminates fraud from this. So these devices need to be set up and approved to do this stuff. It's not automatic. So if you don't have it set up already, I strongly suggest that on all of your devices, you set up Apple Pay. You might be thinking, well, Pete, now I've got 5 devices with payment options on there. And what if they get stolen and all this? Don't worry about that. All 5 of those devices ping to the same server. So it's not like you're having all different accounts for all your devices. They're all pinging the same server when you use them. If I buy something on my iPad, it's talking to the very same account as when I buy something on my iPad, my iPhone. So if you see that button on you will only see that button on a device that is authorized by you to use Apple Pay, first of all. And then second of all, that device must have biometrics, a fingerprint reader or a Face ID. If those 2 things are activated, then buying was just this easy. I went and picked the thing. I said, proceed to checkout. I hit the Apple Pay button. I double clicked my thing and then bypassed that 4th screen, because that 4th screen is the one I hate. I have to go find my credit card. I have to turn the light on and punch it in and the number and the stuff. Apple Pay handles it. Oh, I'm going to take a breath because I have a tendency to just bulldoze. I just talk, and I could have disconnected 25 minutes ago, and I wouldn't even know it. So let me just check in with everybody and see how we're doing. And let's take some questions.
Dale Steele, did you go over Dale's question about can you go over the process paying ahead with Apple financing? I guess advanced payments. I'm guessing. That was a bit ago, but
I think you can schedule payments. I think you can say once a month, take it out of my account. I think I can schedule a payment, but I can't, I don't see where you can, I mean, wait a minute. I can pay my whole card off anytime. If that's what you mean by pay in advance, you can pay the whole card off whenever you want. Or if you buy the Apple upgrade phone, you can pay the rest of the phone off anytime you want. So I hope I'm touching that question, but if not, I'll revisit it. Yes, that's a question. I think you now have to call Goldman Sachs to pay over the month. No, I
don't think so.
No, I just made a payment today. That was half of my balance.
I do it regularly.
Yeah. So that might be just a small misunderstanding or something. But yeah, just today I paid way more than the monthly required. So some kerfluffle there, but I'm happy to help you get that straightened out if that didn't answer the question. Good one though. Process paying ahead with yeah. And let me just make sure for Dale there that I'm not skirting the issue. Because I think maybe I'll just give you a preview here. Here, let me share this. I want to go to Apple's site. Let's go buy something, shall we? Let's go buy us what do we want? Ooh, the new Apple TV came out. And it's only $120 or something. Let's go see. Oh yeah, here's the Apple TV. Let's buy it. Bye.
You're killing me. I hope I'm muted. Oh, I'm not. Oh my God.
Let's go spend some money. Yeah, let's see. Let me see. Here we are purchasing something. Let me see. Let's see. We'll just pick this one, add to bag, and then review bag. Now, because I am an Apple credit card holder, it's not recognizing my account. So let me just make sure I'm logged in here. I must not be logged in with my Apple ID, because if I was, under the how would you like to check out, you can pay in full. You can pay with your Apple card if you have an Apple card. Or if you have, here's the monthly installment. So let me just click it so you can see a little bit about that. There is no interest charge, 0% APR. They just simply take your amount and divide it by 24. And then here's your payment every month, $11.92. Every month will be dropped into your credit card balance, your existing credit card balance. So let's say December 1st hits, your credit card balance is $1,000. It just went up to $1,011.92. You pay that and you just keep going. So one more thing, Dale, is that in the app for users of the Apple credit card, you can view all of the things you've purchased on installments. So I'm going to go do that now. But here I'll show you mine so you can kind of see what that looks like. So here, no, I don't need to do that. Let me cancel that. No, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, back to my video here. You can see there are two categories. There's a big block up here and then more as we scroll. The top is things I currently have on that program. These are all things I'm currently paying for in that way.
Mm.
It's a couple of watch bands. It's an Apple TV. It's a MagSafe wallet. It's an iPad. But But all those have been purchased by me, and every month I can click on here and it shows me every month how much is going to be added to my balance based on my purchases here. All that to say, I just wanted to sum it up and review one more time. All that to say, you're financing it, but there's no interest, and you can pay a very small amount each month. Sometimes makes it easier than going, because it seems like every time I go to buy an iPad, the sticker price says $899, but then when I'm done adding all the things I want to it, it's like a $3,000 machine. So you need a crutch sometimes to help you with those things.
Randy,
Go ahead.
Randy has a question.
Oh, yes.
Let
me see. Oh, is it in the chat?
Yeah, it's in chat. Do you advise turning on advanced fraud protection on your Apple Card number page?
Yeah, I was just looking at that today. I wish they didn't do that. I wish they didn't put advanced fraud protection. It makes it sound like there's not enough fraud protection already and that we need advanced fraud protection. But what that does is just randomizes your card number. Like, I do not have it turned on. And so I've had the same Apple credit card number since I've had my Apple credit card. I've never changed it. If you toggle on that switch that you asked about, Randy, it'll just change on its own. You won't even know, and you don't even have to worry about it because there's no number on the card. And when you slide it, no number comes up. The only time you would need to access it is if you were asked what the card number was. You would just go in the app, hit that button, and you'd see the new card number, or whatever the current card number would be at the time, because it would change every day or every 5 minutes even, who knows.
Thank you.
Of course, yeah, absolutely. All right, just perusing chat here to see what else might be on there. And then Pete, I use have your phone payment.
Al killing it with the links, that's all.
Yes, always. But Barbara asked a good question. She says, don't you just pay for your iPhone with your Apple card? So this is good logic. Barbara is understanding what's going on here. Good logic, Barbara. You basically said entering Apple upgrade program is one way, but just financing it the way you just said is another. If there's no interest either way, what's the advantage? I'll tell you what the advantage is. So Barbara, yes, you can just use your Apple credit card and do the financing where there's no interest, and it would be very similar to the Apple upgrade program. But the thing the Apple upgrade program does that I find it's like Christmas when the new phones come out, is it gives you an opportunity to get your stuff set up in advance of the release. So those who are in the Apple upgrade program get an email that says, new phone's coming out in a week. Why don't you get started on your upgrade? And you put in all your information. And then on the day the phone is released, you simply pick your model and hit send. And you've got a leg up on the other millions of people who are trying to order a phone at 5 a.m. on launch day. So if you are somebody who is eager and enthusiastic about getting the new phone as it comes out, the Apple upgrade program does give you a bit of an advantage there, where you can sort of pre-register for your new phone before they come out and have a better chance of getting a phone when there's shortages. Oftentimes at launch, phones become scarce very quickly. Like Ken and I have this tradition of like waking up at 5 a.m. on Apple launch day so we can get to the Apple online store and start buying things when the new thing comes out. But oftentimes we're shut out. The servers are overloaded, or there's too many people trying to access it at the same time. The Apple upgrade program gives us a way to get the inside track on these upgrades too. So if you're not interested in that, then sure, a credit card with 0% financing is a way to buy the new phone. The other problem is, though, you own it. There is no provision for you to walk into the Apple store and hand your old one back and get the new one. Nobody's buying your old phone off of you when you finance it on a credit card. So the Apple upgrade program does have two very distinct advantages. One is you can register in advance to get the new phone more quickly if that interests you. And the other thing is that the second thing I just said, which is it's almost midnight here. So the second thing, which is they'll also buy it back from you and give you the new one with no hassle. You don't have to get a private buyer and try to find, people are haggling with you. You just hand it back and they give you the new one. You don't even have to hand it. I just hit the button. This last time I just said, yes, give it to me, all of it. Highest one, give it all to me. It showed up with a box. It just said, stick your old phone back in this box and send it to us, and here's your new one. So within about 30 minutes, I had the new one. All my stuff was transferred to it because the new phones don't have SIM cards anymore. You used to have to go to the carrier and have them program your SIM card and put it in the SIM tray. With that being gone, you can just receive the phone by mail, open it up, log in with iCloud, and it does the rest. You send your old phone back and you've never even left the house. So these are some distinct advantages to the Apple upgrade program, as opposed to doing a 0% financing on the Apple card or any other.
So Pete, on the upgrade program, then when you buy a new phone, you have to say, I want to be part of the upgrade program. Is that how it works?
Yep. If you're in the upgrade program,
How do you get in it?
Oh, yeah, you opt in. You just opt in. You have to join the Apple upgrade program. I'm sure Al has put a link.
I've got a link way back there.
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
peruse
okay.
there.
Okay.
Yeah,
thank you.
and once you opt in, you can opt out anytime.
Yeah.
You can pay off the phone and walk away. But once you're opted in, you'll stay opted in and can opt to get the new phone each year if you want, or you can opt to wait 2 years if you want. But they're very flexible. There's no contracts and there's no penalties or anything like that. They're just super flexible.
And then you have to make a monthly payment. Surely you could make that with your Apple card, couldn't you?
Well, it's interesting because Citizens Bank,
Oh.
again,
Oh.
Apple's not a bank. So Citizens Bank handles that for Apple, and they bill you each month for the $50 you have to pay for your phone. I do have it set up on electronic, and it just pays automatically. But I just wanted to throw that nuance in there because isn't it interesting that all of these moving parts have to take place for us to get a phone? But yeah, these companies. Anyway, the phones. If you don't get one every year, then the Apple upgrade program is probably not for you, because if you enter the Apple upgrade program and you wait 2 years, you now own the phone. If you own the phone, handing it back to Apple and having them hand you a new one is no advantage to you, because you've paid for the phone and now you're giving it back. And there isn't a refund. You're now just paying for the new phone. So people who don't upgrade every year, it's probably not advantageous. But if you are a yearly upgrader, there's no other way.
The two distinct advantages just wanted to share that I think need to be mentioned also on the Apple upgrade program. You are getting your 3% Apple Cash money back. And also, once you're in the Apple upgrade program, you have a working business credit relationship established with Citizens One. Therefore, you do not need to unfreeze your credit, because everyone in MacNexus has been encouraged to freeze their credit.
Oh.
And it is a pain, well, a couple clicks to unfreeze your credit. But once you have that working relationship with Citizens Bank, with the Apple upgrade program, they have you're current. You don't need to unfreeze your credit accounts for them to run a credit check.
That's good. I mean, for those of you who are operating under that frozen credit, yeah, that's good advice. Another good question here.
Okay.
Or Thomas, go ahead.
I was just going to mention that question. Go on.
Oh, okay, yeah. I used to think California was like on the cutting edge, with Silicon Valley right there and everything. It wasn't until I lived here in Georgia where I think they try stuff here, in what is this, flyover state, Midwest, South. I think before the coastal states get things, because they're so much more advanced here than I mean, I lived in San Francisco, worked in San Francisco for years. It's interesting here, like you can put your driver's license in your Apple wallet, where that's not available in but a handful of states, just a few, I think. So what I find interesting is that every gas station here now does take Apple Pay. All they have is a little reader that has the symbol. and the symbol's like a little Wi-Fi symbol type thing. But yeah, at the pump, I just tap my phone against it. Not to say they don't already exist in California. I'm just saying they're very common here. You just tap your phone against it and you pay for your gas that way too. I'm sure it will make its way to the coasts and be really common after a while. But yeah, it's very convenient to have those gas pumps accept Apple Pay. Or vending machines. I mean, walking down the hallway of a hotel late at night after traveling and getting to a vending machine and realizing you don't have any coins or bills on you is so heartbreaking. But now you can just boom, tap your wrist against there and all kinds of Cokes and chips fly out of those things. You should see it. It's amazing. Okay, let's see, gas station. So yeah, that's coming soon. If it isn't already near you, you may have one, but some of the big companies have already made the jump, maybe check Shell and Chevron or whatever, but let's see what else we have here.
Chevron, where I usually go, upgraded their pumps recently, and they do have the Apple symbol.
Oh, perfect. So then there's no more questions, but please keep them coming either in chat or you're welcome to interrupt me anytime. But I'm in Wallet again. I opened Wallet again because there's two sections, a top section and a lower section. And the top section is your money. That's credit cards, Apple Cash, that's money. You may not have a bottom section, but if you do, that's membership cards and stuff. So you can see here, these are my insurance cards for State Farm Insurance. And then I have, different grocery store or cinema, my movie passes or whatever. These are kept in Wallet the same way you would keep cards in a wallet. Boarding passes go here. Concert tickets go here. Movie tickets go here. So having this wallet set up is super convenient, but look, there's my insurance, so if I get pulled over, I'm not looking in the glove box. I just pull this up and then I have my proof of insurance. So having those things in there is so convenient, but it doesn't just happen automatically though. You have to be a steward of pushing the things in there that you want in there. You'll start seeing on websites or if you order something, there's an add to wallet. And that add to wallet will allow you, like IKEA, for instance. Before I had my IKEA card in the wallet app, I just had the IKEA app. And I used to open the IKEA app, and that IKEA app had my IKEA card in there that the cashier needs to scan. I noticed there was a button in there that says add to Apple Wallet, so I did. Now, here's a question for me. I'll ask myself a question. Well, Pete, what's the difference if you open the IKEA app or you open the Wallet app? Isn't the same thing happening? Aren't they scanning the same code? The answer is yes. So why? Because Wallet is convenient. Wallet is the place I go for all my passes. I can't tell you the last time I used the IKEA app, so I wouldn't even know where it is on my device. It might not even be on my device anymore because I have a setting on there that deletes apps after I don't use them for a while. So having my IKEA pass in my wallet, not reliant on an app, to me is very convenient because I'm not worried about finding the app and opening it. Costco is another one. Did you know your Costco card is now in the app? So if you sign up for the Costco app and you log in, punch in your number, you can now show them your Costco card right on the Costco app without pulling it out physically when you walk in. So all of these things are going to digital, as you all have a front row seat to, but it all doesn't happen automatically. You got to stay in the know as much as you can, and you've got to opt in to these things to really take advantage of them. Especially like your driver's license, it's now legal to not carry an ID, but have the valid identification in your wallet app. Law enforcement and others are now trained and are provided with devices that read these things. Then they no longer need cards. And don't forget your medical ID. Hopefully you did that last time. Hopefully you've got that all dialed in. Yeah, something, Randy said, oh, something new in wallet is orders. Yeah, orders are pending, like that thing I showed you that I ordered today, a little thing there that will, now there's an if there. Orders in wallet will appear if the Apple Pay, if you used Apple Pay for the entire transaction. So I do see that order that I placed under orders, and I can tap it to see a summary of my order and eventually tracking number, but I don't have that yet. Also very convenient. Imagine going to one place to check an order. Right now, I would open the Amazon app and go to my orders and scroll through and find the one I ordered and open that and then look for a tracking number. Here I can just glance in my wallet app, and that has aggregated all the information for me in one place. So just great stuff. Yeah, how many states are doing the license now? Georgia was supposed to be first, but they're not even on the list yet. Let me see.
I guess about 6 or 7.
Yeah. I'm just looking through the chat to see if I missed anything.
No, I don't believe so. I've been kind of trying to.
Thank you for that. You're trying to keep up. Cool. Now, let me ask you this. You run into this, right? Like somebody is doing landscaping and it was time to pay them. And I said, what do you accept? And they said, Cash App, they told me. Now, this is difficult because if somebody accepts the Cash App, but I haven't been initiated with Cash App, then all I can really say to that person is no, I don't have that. So we've eliminated a way I can do business with people by not having it. So what I've done is I've gone out and made an account with all of them. I have an account with Venmo. I have an account with PayPal. I have an account with Cash App. I have an account with Apple App, because I don't ever want to be in a situation where somebody says, can you pay this way? And I say, I can only pay this way. It's no risk to me to have an account on all these apps. And why not? If you have somebody give you a service, maybe a painter comes and says, I prefer Zelle, you've got Zelle, or you've got Venmo. Some businesses will take Cash App. Now, with these Square registers, you've probably seen these too. They spin the register around to you, you sign, and then spin it back. These things are now able to take these payments. These payments as well. So it's so advanced. As a matter of fact, if you've shopped at the Apple Store lately, there aren't even cash registers. Somebody just walks up to you with a device, they scan your stuff, you use Apple Pay, and you walk out. There's not even registers anymore. So things are changing quickly, and hopefully this information will help you stay somewhat abreast of all of these electronic advancements. Arizona, Maryland, and Colorado. In March, Apple said additional 10 states soon: Connecticut, Georgia, Hawaii, Iowa, Kentucky, Mississippi. It's just strange to me, like California, New York, California, New York. I would think with those populations, I guess it's harder to get things done when the population is so dense. That's the only thing I can think of is
40 million people. You know,
it's much harder to get things done. Out here, you have to travel 5 minutes to see somebody. So things are easier to install, I'd imagine.
I'll give you a good reason, Pete. As you might know, I worked in a division of driver's license for 40 years, and it's a conservative shop.
Oh, okay. Oh, my focus. Oh, okay. All right. Good to know. I missed the tech Q&A and current events, I think, but I don't know. There's some geeks on the call, so I did want to share this new. Yeah, Al, you ready? I did want to share this.
Yeah.
This is called a space mouse.
Oh, I already like it.
Yeah, I mean, it just looks amazing. But what's unique about this is that knob is an object on a spring.
Looks almost like the old Kensington.
Trackball.
They had a product that was similar to that.
Yeah, it had a big landing pad.
Yeah, yeah.
And this knob, just because, yeah, it looks like it should control it. I think it could. Just because 3D has become so prevalent that now with this device, I put my hand on here and move this, and I'm moving the object around in 3D tactically, not with a keyboard and mouse. And I'll show you, I think I can show you an example of what I mean here. Instead of using the keyboard and mouse to navigate a 3D object, you can, and all those buttons you saw in there are programmable too, which I think is very cool. But if I pull up something like—
What's the product's name?
Space Mouse by 3D Connexion. They for some reason used an X
Space
in the word.
Mouse, huh?
Yeah, yes. Just Amazon Space Mouse. And so, no, go to spacemouse.com. I just got an email today that they're $100 off for the wireless version. I think it's only $299. But let's see. Let me just pull up I don't know, will this work? What I'm doing is a little glimpse
Oh,
of
yeah.
my profession. A glimpse of my profession here. Let me switch back to this. All right, so here we are in a 3D, this is a 3D environment. This is an example for those geeks out there, just to show you how prevalent 3D has become. I had to mock up a bunch of printer boxes and stuff, and I rarely do anything in 2D anymore. I'm almost exclusively, but what is going on with this? Oh, okay. No input is working. Something's amiss. Sorry about that. Let me go back here. Printers. Anyway, what I'd show here, if demos didn't always fail, is that navigating this 3D environment is almost effortless because I rest my hand on this pad, grab that object, and pull it up, down, forward, back, just like I would a real life object. So this here, I'm navigating around these objects here with my keyboard and mouse, and it's very cumbersome. I have low accuracy. It's difficult for me to control and navigate in 3D. Some of you may have experienced this, but if I grab this handle here, and you can see how I just pick it up as if it's an object and move it around, up, down, diagonally, rotate. Without, this hand is free. I can look at any part. I can even use this to, here, let me show you, zoom in on even tiny text on the box here. You know, it's like just really a versatile tool, especially for those who get disoriented in 3D. Because your hand is on an object and you're moving it like this, it's so much easier to control. So, but
Nice.
probably very few people would ever have a need for this, but I know they're, for my nerds on the call,
On the bleeding edge, baby.
yeah, you got to stay there. Stay on the cutting edge. Let me see. Oh, there's a Space Mouse there. Yeah. And all those buttons are programmable too. And then there's another gadget here. Let's take this. Here's that one. This is what this is the nice one too. Zence Labs, XENCE, Zence Labs. This is a jog wheel for video editing. And these are all programmable buttons. So for, I think 99 bucks, I think I got this for 99 bucks. Now my left hand, not my mouse hand, but my other hand can be jogging video back and forth on my video editor. I want to spin and find the right frame. I just do like that. If I want to cut on that frame, I just push one of these programmable buttons to cut. This little device allows this hand to do so much without moving the mouse around the screen and do what you need to do. All of these are programmed for whatever you want. If you want this button to open up your investments website, it will. If you want this to lower your volume, it will. When you open your web browser, if you want this to scroll up and down the page, it will. Very versatile device with a great piece of software that allows you to control it. And it's wireless, as you can see, there's no wire on it, so I can just kind of set it anywhere, and it connects via Bluetooth. If you're a person who's like, well, I'm not one of these geeks, I'm not on the cutting edge, that's okay. I want you to tune in here for a second though, because the accessibility with this wheel can be helpful for those who have difficulty navigating with a mouse or a trackpad. If you're on a website and you just want to read and scroll without having to grab the mouse, find the thing, or use the scroll wheel, this is just a very nice, easy way for your left hand to move the page up and down while your right hand continues to navigate. A fun little device and fully programmable, do whatever you want it to do. Cool thing there. So now I just need a bigger desk for all these devices. Right, this is called the Stream Deck. Similar,
Oh, yeah.
Similar type of thing. This Stream Deck plugs in by USB-C. And then
They got a new model. They got a version 2 of that too. You probably already knew. Yeah, with the knobs and stuff.
I didn't order it because I'm like, I will though, but by the time the year's out, I bet I'll have it. But all these buttons are programmable, and you can assign anything you want to them. So in my workflow daily, I'm always poking these buttons because sometimes I want to open my email. I just poke the button that says email, and my email is front and center. If I want to get to something else, I can poke that button, whatever I program it for. And the buttons light up, and you can decide what the icon is. So if your visibility is affected, where you need these to be a bright color, they glow, and one could be red. It's so advanced that you could program a button to turn the lights off in your house, or you could program a button to make an emergency phone call to somebody.
Are you using the companion software, Pete?
I'm using the Elgato Stream Deck software, but I'm also getting tons of plugins and extensions. I'll show you this, Al. This is so convenient. This is a second Stream Deck that I keep on a different thing. So, but here's one with the buttons lit up. This one is in action currently, and the buttons light up. This one is a stock ticker. This always shows Apple stock right on this tiny little screen.
Nice.
Right at my desk. This one is a speed tester. If I click this, it shows my internet up and down speed for that moment.
Does that just log on to speedtest.com, the Ookla?
Exactly.
And
Ookla.
Yeah.
Yep. This is the amount of processor I am currently using with this computer. That's the amount of processor I'm currently using.
So where's it get the information for that? Is that from the iStatistica or something like that?
Yep.
Activity monitor?
Yeah, Apple gives programmers access to line level information like that. So these programmers just got a call and brought it over. These here, I have 4 virtual desktops. If I push this button, the window I'm currently looking at will be sent to that virtual desktop. So I can move windows around my virtual desktops with these buttons. And then this will take me to those virtual desktops. So if I need to get to my work virtual desktop, I can click here and it'll take me there.
Are these come from Elgato, or are some of these some of your own custom?
These are all
implementations?
extensions that are available in the store. So they're all Stream Deck extensions. I say store, but they're free. All these extensions are free. All you do is you read about what they do, download them, open the Stream Deck software, and then they're easy to punch in whatever data you want it to display. Let me see what. And then there's one more I got to show you. This one, Al, you might be a fan of this. Let me see. This one, what this one does, I'll show you this thing again, is wherever my mouse cursor is on the screen, it is magnified and displayed on one of the buttons. So, oh gosh, let me see, what did I do there? Okay. Here, what I did to make this easier is oh wait, am I still sharing my, oh God, I think I sent you to another screen. Yes, I did. Okay, let me get you back to the right screen. Yeah. You're in my Keep Clean desktop. Not everybody makes it in my Keep Clean desktop. What was I going to show you? This thing. Oh yeah, I'm now showing the Stream Deck on my screen instead, so you can see it better. Let me share and make sure I'm sharing. Yeah. So I'll share my screen, and these are the buttons of my Stream Deck. They're just on screen instead of
Oh, this is nice.
Yeah, I'm running the speed test, but look at this magnifier tile. Anything my mouse cursor goes over is magnified in that window. You see that?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So if there's something I can't really see very well, I can get this thing over it and I can get a closer look. And it's programmable to be magnified up to however many, I mean, I can go 32x. So just
Wow.
hovering over something gives me magnification there. It's great for
Yeah.
if you want to pick a color out or something and you want to, it's a lot of good
I have the large Stream Deck, but I just haven't taken the time to go.
Oh yeah, tinker with
play
it.
with
Yep.
the software and tinker with it. I mean, I'm sure there's thousands of things that can be done. It's all a matter of time, and it's a fleeting commodity.
Yes.
Well, Pete, we're probably getting around 9 o'clock here, so I'm sure some folks want to take part in the raffle here before we close out shop here. But I can sit and listen to you for a couple of days. And I want to encourage you somehow make this Empower Mac thing happen. I'll hurt myself reaching for my wallet, or in this case, my watch.
A lot of tweaked collarbones getting back there for that. Oh yeah, the watch. There's nothing I'd like more than to get that set up. So I'm
always a fan. Always
amazing.
a fan.
Yeah, I think with what we lived through with the last couple of years, we proved that online can be just as valuable as in person. And a lot of cases, not for everything, but in a lot of cases, and it became pretty easy for all of us to log on to these things. So if I had a URL that we could meet and do a thing like that,
it'd be easy. Very doable. Very doable.
Okay, well, I'll take my leave then and let you get to the raffle. I want to end by thanking you again for having me. My favorite group to be with. The questions are incredible. You are savvy. You're in the know, and it's always my pleasure to be here with you. I appreciate the invite, and I'm looking forward to next time, which is Saturday workshop. The next Saturday workshop, I will be. And the topics are.
Send me information on what you're presenting.
Yeah, I will. Maybe I didn't do that yet. I'm very bad about that. For those of you who don't know, I drive Bob crazy because I'm supposed to tell him, here's the stuff I'm going to talk about, and then he tells you.
So
even if it's a starter point, our conversations always evolve.
Yeah.
I drive Ken crazy too. So
and I feel terrible sometimes. I'm like, gosh darn it, why can't I just? But anyway, that's Saturday. I'll get you the info. I think I wrote it down last time in my notes what y'all wanted to see, so I'll just go back and refer to that. Good. So I'll take my leave. Thanks again.
All right.
Good luck with the raffle, and we'll see you next time.
Thank
Sure.
you.
Thank you, Pete.
Thanks,
Thanks again, as
Thanksgiving.
always.
so much. Yes, happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks, Pete.
Thanks, Pete.
Very,
That was a lot.
very well. What
your magic
many?
number is 288.
288?
Yeah, well, we
Lisa can do the rest.
Yeah, we do the in person first, and that magic number is 28.
All right. So how many are we? I will start with.
We do 4 $25 gift cards, and then we do 2 100 gift cards for those who are in the meeting, and then the all member is 1 100 gift card. So.
All right, let's start with the $25 gift cards. Are we ready? And the number is what? 28 again?
28.
Siri, give me a random number between 0 and 28. Oh. Oops. 26 is a number. I didn't turn my volume up. Forgive me.
Okay, 26. And that's Rich Pearson.
Woohoo!
Why is the volume down in this one?
Becoming the new Gilbert, isn't he?
Yes.
Thank you all. Thank you all very much.
And Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 28. That would be 5. I didn't turn it up enough.
5 is Carlos Miranda.
Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 28.
The answer is 25.
25.
Raymond Chung.
And one final one. Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 28. Boy. The number would be 18.
Kathleen Christian.
Okay, and now we have one more, correct?
Two more. These are $100 ones.
Two of them 100. Excuse me, I knew we were changing denominations. Now we're to two $100. Oh boy, here we go. Don't get excited. I'm excited. Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 28.
I found this on the web.
Oh, darn. Siri found some things on the web. Oh my God. Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 28.
The answer is 10.
The answer is 10.
Harmon Tabor.
Yippee!
Woohoo! And, okay. Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 28.
The answer is 5.
The answer's 5.
Now that's Carlos Miranda again. He has a choice to make. Does he want to keep his $25 gift certificate or choose the $100 gift certificate?
What would be your wish, Carlos?
And has he already left the meeting?
Oh, has he
Yeah,
already
he's
left?
still here.
Okay. Where are you, Carlos?
Carlos, speak to us, please.
One of those big wooden things fell on him.
Well, he's got his background up, but
Well,
We can make a decision for him, the obvious one.
yeah, I think the board can make the decision that we believe Carlos is choosing the $100 gift.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so Carlos, I'm gonna put him down now for the 100, and we've got to go back and do another 25.
25. Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 28.
Here's what I
Oh,
found.
stop with the generators. Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 28.
The answer is 26.
26?
Well, no, that's Rich. Sorry, Rich. You
Oh,
can't have-
Lord, man. Take these guys to Reno.
Yeah,
Oh. Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 28.
The answer is 5.
It was 5 again.
I don't think Carlos wants the $25 one.
Okay, let's
That's not
see.
very random.
I get it. I am just Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 28.
It's 26.
26.
Wow.
That's Rich. What's going on here,
I
Thomas?
don't know. My phone has
Lord.
gone nuts.
26 and now there's 5.
Yeah, those are the only two players all of a sudden.
Well, Lisa, would you mind using your phone? Because I mean,
Can I ask somebody else to do it? Just so
oh,
we
okay,
have
okay.
a
For
total-
Randy, what about you, Randy? Would you mind helping me out like that? Because this
Sure.
is a little nuts.
Somebody
Hey.
else has got to win here.
Yeah.
Hey Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 28.
A random number between 1 and 28 is 19.
And Lane White is the winner.
Hey, thank you,
Oh,
thank you.
hey, hey. Oh, we have one more. Hey,
And
Randy, go ahead and do it again, just in case I do have a sketchy phone.
Well,
Don't-
it's the big number though this
Right,
time.
I get that. I get that.
288.
Oh, excuse me.
288 is the number we're range.
So 1 to 288. Okay, here we go.
Yes.
Hey Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 288.
On it. Still on it.
Oh, man.
How about we try again?
Yeah.
Pull some dice.
Said 22.
Something went wrong. Try again.
Yeah.
Sure did.
I think Al needs to try it.
It wasn't my phone then. Oh my God. Would-
What's going on at Apple tonight?
Al, are you gonna do it?
Sure, I can give it a
okay,
shot.
Here we
Yeah.
are. Oh, wait. That's 1 and 288.
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 288. 57.
57. Okay, I got to scroll up. And 57 is Gloria Gibble.
Yay, Gloria. Yay. Well, that completes our raffle for tonight. I don't think we have.
What a long, strange trip it's been, man.
That was wild.
This is the longest
That's-
raffle in history.
Holy
I tell
moly.
you. And thank you, Randy's phone, for messing up. too.
Yeah. Al, you're going to save the chat.
Yeah, let me, thanks for reminding me. I did, but I'll save it again here to make sure I got it. Okay, we're good to go. Your background looks good there, buddy.
Oh, all righty. Well, good night, all. It's been a pleasure, and we will see you on the first Saturday in December. Anything anyone needs to say to me?
Nope.
Nice.
Nope.
thing.
Nope.
Here, one thing.
Yes, Bob.
Remind everybody that's still here that next month's evening meeting has been pushed forward to, I think it's
14th.
the 14th.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Just
14th.
just a reminder.
Yeah. To not conflict with Christmas.
Correct. 14th of December is the next general
General meeting.
meeting. Correct. 14th of December. Please put
Correct.
that on your calendar because we're really fun in December.
More fun than this?
tonight, I hope.
Oh my.
God, no. All righty. Oh,
All right, gang.
Yeah.
all right.
all.
Evening,
Thanks a
everybody.
lot. Another successful meeting.
All right.
All
Take
right,
care.
Cheers.